As a first-time home buyer, there are a number of things that you should be considering when you're thinking about purchasing a home. But there are also a number of mistakes that first-time home buyers make that maybe they haven't talked through the process with somebody, a real estate agent, a lender, whoever it may be, and they haven't gotten all of the details and all of the facts. So here are 5 mistakes that first-time home buyers may make and things to avoid. So number one, not getting pre-approved first. So a lot of first-time home buyers will try to just start the process, start looking on Zillow, Realtor, all of the sites, and kind of home shopping, bouncing around, talking to a real estate agent. They may be going to open houses, but you may be seeing homes that are way out of a budget, or you may not know that you could go a little bit higher. So, kind of guesstimating your own budget and your own pre approval is mistake number one. Seeing a lender and talking through what you would be pre approved for, what would your monthly payments be, what can you expect? That is mistake number one. So, absolutely always go and talk to a lender before you start your home buying process. Number two is overextending the budget. So, a lot of first time home buyers or people in general will see a home that they fall in love with and they want to go for it and they overextend their budget. You may be pre approved for $800,000, but you may not want to spend the monthly cost of that. You may not want the monthly payments for that $8,000. You may be more comfortable with monthly payments on a $600,000 home. So, understanding your budget, understanding what your costs will be, your monthly payments will be, is very important. And it's also very important to talk to a real estate agent and not go and see properties that are above your budget, because those are the properties that you always fall in love with. Obviously, they're higher priced for a reason. So going to see properties that are above budget and falling in love with them is a big mistake. I know it hurts. It's a bummer. For my clients, if they are pre-approved for, let's say, $450,000, if something is listed at 475 and it's been on the market for quite a while, I will send that to them because then maybe the seller will be willing to negotiate and come down to their 450 budget. But otherwise, I definitely do not suggest going to see properties that are over your budget. It just hurts. Number three, skipping the home inspection. So I know it is very common for people to waive the home inspection. It is very common for sellers to want a buyer to waive a home inspection. Especially as a first time home buyer, I do not suggest that. There are other things that we can do, but I absolutely would suggest that you have a home inspection. Other options, you could do an inspection for informational purposes only. Some people do not like this phrasing, and I understand that because it still gives you an out, but as a buyer, that's what you want. You still want to have an out. So, inspection for informational purposes only means that you still can have an inspection, but it would be for informational only. So, technically, you cannot negotiate after if something is found on the inspection, and you wouldn't be able to back out after the home inspection is found. So, that is one option. Another option is that you could do a home inspection, but only negotiate items that are safety, structural, health, or mechanical related. And that kind of saves you on the big ticket items. So if the home inspector finds something that is related to your mechanicals, something that is structural, safety, or health related, you can negotiate those items after the home inspection. Another option is to have a home inspection, but say that you will not negotiate items that are going to cost more than or less than $5,000 to repair. That gives the seller an idea that you are not looking to nickel and dime them, and you will only be negotiating on the really big ticket items to help you save costs. So there are definitely some ways to go about the home inspection, but I absolutely would recommend that you do have a home inspection. Number four mistake, not shopping around for a mortgage. So I always give all of my buyers a couple of preferred lenders, a couple of lender recommendations, and I do suggest that they talk to multiple lenders to find out who might be the best fit. And I also suggest that you talk to your lenders about different programs, first-time homebuyer programs, grants. Some lenders are really well versed on these programs, and they may be a better fit for you than another lender who doesn't know about those programs. So I would suggest you talk to your friends and family, see who they've used as a lender, and if they have any recommendations, but absolutely also talk to your real estate agent because they know who the best lenders in the area are, and they can also refer you to who might be a good fit for you. And absolutely shop around for a mortgage, see who's got the best rates, see who's got the best programs, and who knows the most programs. And then number five, underestimating your closing costs. So your closing costs are typically going to be 2 to 5% of the purchase price. So when you go to the closing table, you will be required to bring with you your down payment and also your closing costs. During the home buying process, you are going to be required to give 2 earnest money deposits. One is when your offer is accepted. You will be required to give $1,000 or whatever it is that you offer as your first earnest money deposit. And you will be required to give a second earnest money deposit, which is typically given at the signing of your purchase and sale. Um, so you will give these two earnest money deposits. Those earnest money deposits go towards your down payment. So at the closing table, you will be bringing, say, your down payment is $20,000, and you gave $1,000 for your first earnest money deposit and $4,000 for your second deposit. So your down payment, when you come to the closing table, you'll be bringing the $20,000 minus the $1,000 you already gave, minus the $4,000 you already gave. So the remainder of your down payment is $15,000. You will bring that to the closing table, your $15,000, and also your closing costs, which will be 2 to 5% of your purchase price. Your lender, will be able to give you a better idea of closing costs, and as we get closer to the closing date, they will have a sheet that they will give you that will break down the closing costs. Closing costs include your attorney fees, your lender fees. It includes recording tax, transfer tax, and a number of different items like that to get to the closing table. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes. As a bonus, another mistake that buyers make, first-time home buyers in particular, is making a big purchase before the closing day. Please do not buy a car before you buy a house. Like if you are in the midst of buying a house, don't buy a car. Don't buy large ticket items, any big purchases, because that is going to go onto your debt to income ratio and it could knock you right out of buying a house. I've had that happen before to a couple of buyers where they thought, oh my gosh, we're in the midst of the process. We're about to close on our house in a week. We need this car. Why don't we just go ahead and take care of the car too? Doesn't work like that. The underwriter for your lender is not going to like that. Big purchase. It could delay closing. And if you do still get to close, it will delay closing. So hopefully you may be in a situation where it wouldn't cancel closing, but absolutely check with your lender first before you make any big purchases. So those are the 5 of my biggest mistakes that I've seen first-time home buyers make. If you have any questions at all, I'm here for you. I'm happy to sit down and have a buyer consultation, talk you through the whole home buyer process. All of my information is in the description. Please absolutely reach out to me, and I look forward to chatting with you.